information this morning on a missing student from the University of Pittsburgh. Sudiksha Konanki was on spring break in the Dominican Republic, and there are now reports that police believe that she may have drowned. Police, though, are looking at all angles still and tell us they're investigating one of the friends. There are also reports that she was spotted swimming with a man at the beach near her resort. She also reportedly went for a walk on the beach sometime around 4 o'clock in the morning last Thursday. TJ Ward is a private investigator who works on the Natalie Holloway case for nearly 2 decades. He joins me now. TJ, good morning to you. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, TJ, tell me your thoughts on all these mixed reports coming in. I mean, you know, that they're talking to a young man who went swimming with her. Now some investigators believe she may have drowned. Are you buying that?
No, I'm not. They need to find out who she was with. They need to start looking at cameras. One of the things that I did was real important when I went to Aruba. I found somebody local that I could trust that could travel around with me, because there's, as you well know, bad people on the island, and you need to make contact with law enforcement. One of the things that hurt Aruba was tourism, and I think the media needs to play a big part in this and keeping up and being there and find out what's going on. Local law enforcement and federal law enforcement here, somebody needs to be on board and working with local law enforcement there to try to find out what's going on. I've made contact with the family yesterday and hope maybe they'll call me and then we can get there and try to help them locate their daughter. I mean,
have you heard back from them yet?
No, I've not heard back from them. I sent them my email, I sent them my website and told them who I was and tried to explain to them what this was all about. It's somewhat difficult when you start looking for people in other countries that are not familiar with you, and they speak another language too. So you've got to get somebody local that can work with you. I have something that's kind of unique. It's called layered voice analysis, and I can take any transmission in any language and analyze it, and I can tell you somebody's lying or hiding something. So that's real important also, to be able to have the tools to be able to work and get there and do this and get on board with law enforcement.
Yeah.
And then try to work hands-on with them to try to locate people that may know something or last seen her, or somebody that may have been with her. I'm sure she had friends or somebody was there with her. I don't think she was there alone.
Yeah, she was traveling with a group of 5 others, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So I'm curious what they all saw and knew. You know, you bring up language. I was going to ask you about that, TJ, because she is a citizen of India. So the Embassy of India is now leading the investigation. They're working in tandem with the U.S. State Department, local law enforcement. How does that help or complicate this case?
I think it helps, and I think the more exposure that again, with the media being out there and people understanding what's going on and people watching, being able to see, somebody may come up that knows something and can share information about what they last seen her or know something about her. But all these friends need to jump on board and be on board with local law enforcement and law enforcement here in order to try to find answers.
Yeah,
real important.
I know she was last seen on beach security camera early morning hours of the 6th, I believe just about 4:50 in the morning on Thursday. Do you know any more that's on that footage, TJ, that you may be privy to that we're not yet?
No, I haven't. I need to study it a little bit and see. I don't think that she drowned. I don't think. I just don't buy that what they're saying that she may have drowned. I don't buy that. There's somebody there that knows something, or there's a camera there. Or they need to really research and get out and look and see what else is there that may help them.
Can you say drowning without a body? I mean, is that reckless to say?
I wouldn't go as far as part. I would think about drowning would be one of the last things I would think of right now. But even if she was walking on the beach, somebody out there probably knows something, or she encountered somebody. And I mean, there's a lot of people there looking. But again, if I was there, I would get somebody local that I could trust that may know who the bad people are there and be able to look and deal with law enforcement and find out and stay on board with them.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.